There's something interesting going on at Fox News. Piers Morgan was on the show just a couple of days ago, I believe 4 days ago, when the manhunt was going on for Robert Card, the shooter in Maine who took over 18 lives. They had Piers Morgan on, I believe it was The Five. It was one of the programs where they have a bunch of different hosts. And many of you know I'm not a Piers Morgan fan. I don't like Piers Morgan for a number of different reasons. But Piers Morgan went on Fox News to talk about the gun problem in America, and I actually think he has a really, really, really good take. And he also makes Jesse Waters just look like a fucking idiot without even really trying, which I'm absolutely always going to be here for. And Piers also uses a really, really good example. It's a little weird, but it's a really, really good example, really good comparison about what our priorities are here in America. So here's Piers Morgan. I mean, again, I don't like Piers Morgan. But right here, in this instance, he hits the nail on the head again, whilst making Jesse Waters just look like the biggest fucking buffoon you've ever seen in your entire life.
In England, we just don't have guns. I mean, hardly anybody has guns, including criminals, right? So
Yep.
I think we've had one mass shooting in like 5 years or something. You've had God knows how many this year alone, and it just goes on. It's kind of Groundhog Day. And there's the old, I don't think actually Einstein ever said this quote about the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. But actually, in this case, I would argue, as a friend to American Americans, someone that loves the country and loves the people, at some point, you've got to do something more than you're doing. And I wouldn't use the word control. I think that's part of the problem with this whole debate. When Americans hear the word control, they think instinctively federal government control, and it alienates any chance of any compromise.
Okay, I don't agree with not using the word control, but I do agree with what he's saying about the majority of American people.
Gun safety is the way this should be debated. How do you make it safer? How do you stop these loopholes, these guys slipping through the net? I mean, it's obviously a catastrophic failure. In Maine, they have yellow flags, not red flags. Why? Why don't you just have a red flag system all over the country? You have 400 million plus guns in circulation.
That's true.
1 million new guns are sold every month in America. This problem is going to get worse, not better. And
That
at
is
some
absolutely
point,
true.
as your friend, you know, as the great ally, I simply say you've got to do something more to stop this. You can't keep having the Groundhog Day of these people with these semi-automatic rifles going into civilian areas and gunning people to pieces. Can you?
Okay, now, I just want you guys, before I play the rest of the clip, I know you guys don't like when I interrupt, but I want you guys to sit there in your chairs right now. We'll play a little round of Jeopardy. I want you guys to think, while I talk about this just really quick, what do you think Jesse Waters' response is to what Piers Morgan just said? I want you to really sit there and think about what he's going to say, because I don't think I would have been able to predict it in 100,000 guesses. But just really quick to the point Piers Morgan made. He says, well, we do need it. We need to have red flag laws everywhere. And I do agree with that. But even then, the red flag laws, it's not enough. It's in my opinion, I mean, that is the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. And we're not even doing that. So at least in this area, but that's the bare minimum. There's a lot of other different things that we need to implement. But hopefully you came up with your answer. Here is Jesse Waters' response to pretty reasonable Piers Morgan, I would say.
Your friend.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Of course.
We have these guns because of you.
That's Jesse's argument. His argument for the reason that there's so many guns, and it's literally a problem where people are literally just dying in droves. One man can walk into a bowling alley and murder 18 people by himself. It's because of the It's because of the Brits, guys. Yeah, it's the British. It's Britain's fault. Americans are so incredibly fucking lazy and stupid. He's sitting there blaming Britain for our gun problem. What a disgusting piece of trash.
Because of your country.
I know.
Because of your king.
I know.
And we haven't had that problem with the king since then.
Oh, how noble Jesse Waters is. What an American patriot. What a national treasure. Is he serious? Is that what he would look in the faces of the families of these victims of this crazed fucking killer who had a gun? Would he look in the faces of those fucking victims and say, we need him because of Britain. Sorry. We need him because of Britain. It's Britain's fault. Would he say that? Was that what he would say? If he, for some reason, was asked to maybe speak at one of these people's funerals, I don't know why that would ever happen, would he get up there and say, it was a tragedy, but we still need the guns because of the British. It's the British's fault. I mean, what are you talking about?
I know.
With respect, as your friend.
Respectfully, here's my response.
I like how Jesse's joking about it like it's a joke. Ha ha, people died. People died. That's so hilarious, dude. That's fucking hilarious that you think that that's funny, that innocent people lost their lives because of the gun problem in this country. That's so funny, Jesse. That's hilarious. You're so funny.
I cannot buy in the United States of America a Kinder Surprise chocolate egg. They're banned. They're banned on safety grounds because the little toys inside them might choke people. A British Prime Minister, I won't say which one, but one in the last few years, told me he was stopped at LAX because he had some for his nieces and they confiscated them because they were a health hazard. Now, I simply say, you're a country of many freedoms and many regulations. How about regulating guns in the way that you do Kinder Surprise chocolate eggs?
Oh, you mean like how it says in the actual second fucking amendment, the first part of the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia, well-regulated? Yeah, Piers got it. He got it 100%.
Okay. With respect, do forks make people fat?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Oh, well, they do. They do, don't they?
Guns don't kill people.
They do.
People kill people.
Guns also
Forks
kill people.
don't make you fat.
Jesse, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this one time. And this is to anybody, Jesse Waters included, to anybody that says guns don't kill people, people kill people. Guess what? If that's your argument, then we're still not going to give any people the means to carry out these massacres. So if that's your argument, it's guns don't kill people, people kill people. Guess what? We have to still address it's still a gun problem. We still have to find a way to curb the gun problem. We still have to find a way to get over 400 million guns that are out there out of circulation. It's not normal for a country to have more firearms than it is citizens. That's not normal. So to all of those that say, oh, well, it's a people problem. So why in the ever-living fuck would you want to give the means for a person to take someone else's life in an instant? Why would you even allow it? Why are you even gonna take the fucking chance? If it's a people problem, if that's really what you want to say, if that's really your argument, then why are we even gonna give them the fucking opportunity? Why? Why? Answer me that. Any Pro 2A people watching this fucking video, please, please, please answer me. It's ridiculous. Jesse Waters is... I mean, this is just, I think, a new low for him, honestly. I mean, that was the worst response I've ever heard. He was trying to be clever and funny, and, he always tries to crack jokes, but he just comes off like a fucking psychopath. He comes off like he's fucking nuts. I mean, he is, but... I mean, Piers just fucking told you exactly like it is, handed your fucking ass to you as an American citizen on Fox News that doesn't want to address that there's a gun problem, and you want to sit there and joke about it. And you want to sit there and act all fucking callous and be a fucking dick about it. I like how, in the clip, Jesse Waters at first, he was like, respectfully, we have those guns because of Britain. He was joking around when Piers were trying to be serious, but then Piers was trying to kind of joke around, and then Jesse Waters wanted to be serious. I don't know how anyone could stand this guy. I don't know how anyone could possibly be around him. I don't know how anyone can sit there and listen to Fox News, literally just at all. I think it's a complete fucking joke. I do give Piers Morgan praise for what he said because I do agree with pretty much everything that he said there, and I thought it was a great take. But I also think that it's really, really telling. This is how the rest of the world looks at America when it comes to this issue. They see something like this, and they're like, hey, that doesn't happen over here, ever, at all. You heard what Piers said. What, one mass shooting in the past 5 years? He said no one in Britain has guns. A cause and effect once again. We know, based on research that has stretched for, it doesn't even matter how long, that guns equal homicide every single fucking time. It doesn't matter if the criminals have them. It doesn't matter if the good guys have them. It doesn't matter if the cops have them. It doesn't matter if the government has them. Guns always cause fucking hurt. Guns lead to homicide. Doesn't matter if it's a high-income nation, a low-income nation. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world. That is always going to be true, 100% of the time. And then you look at the places where guns aren't common, but you even look at places like, New Zealand, where there's a gun in every household. They still don't have shootings. We don't want to regulate the gun industry. We don't want to hold gun manufacturers accountable. And I think that if a mass shooting is committed with a firearm of a specific company, I don't care what company it is. There are so many firearm manufacturers out there. There are a ton of them. I think that that victims have every right to sue. They have every right to sue gun manufacturers. And if these gun manufacturers wind up going out of business because they get slapped with so many fucking lawsuits, because so many massacres are being committed with their firearms, because they lobby in our government, they get to lobby in our government, then so be it. We need to hold the gun manufacturers accountable. We need to hold our politicians accountable for not doing enough to curb this fucking problem, okay? And allowing gun lobbyists to happen. We need to hold them accountable for that. And then, again, there's a slew of other things we could do to address this problem. Raising the age that you get a firearm is something that will definitely help. Red flag laws, again, these are all just bare minimum, okay? Making sure that you have to go through a fucking background check. In my state that I live in, this is crazy. In my state and a bunch of other states, if you do a private sale, you don't have to do anything. If you're a private firearm seller, you can just sell a gun to whoever you want. You don't have to run a background check in my state. It's nuts. And you look at a state like Vermont, Bernie's state, go and look at the gun laws they have in Vermont. They're extremely, at least for America now, and I mean this in this context, specifically in American context, they're pretty strict. And we don't see a lot of mass shootings in Vermont. It's cause and effect. It's simple. All you need to do is look at the facts. I can provide all the facts. I've done it so many times here. Again, I've said this so many times. This is the issue that I feel the most strongly about as a progressive. If we all fucking shoot and kill each other, we will never solve any of our other problems. It's not going to be possible if we're all dead. And I know that sounds silly. It might honestly sound extremely silly to say something like that. But that's the reality that we live in. Kids in fucking schools die left and right. People go out to a bowling alley. You go out to a bar. You go to a movie theater to see Batman in Aurora, Colorado. You might not go home. You might not get to say goodbye to your loved one. And that's so fucked up. And we don't do anything about it. And that's the most fucked up part about it, is that we have continued to let it happen. And it's just like Piers said, it's going to get worse before it gets better, before we actually decide, oh, hey, maybe we need to do something about this. That's going to be it for the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, press that little bell, turn on auto notifications so you guys never miss an upload. And guys, please go down into the comments and let me know what you thought of Piers Morgan. Let me know what you thought of Jesse Waters. Let me know what you thought of my coverage. And I will see you guys in the next one.